Hey everyone, welcome back to the Movie Couple channel. I'm Wendy and here is my review for The Wild Robot. The Wild Robot follows the journey of Rosm 7134, a robot that is shipwrecked on an uninhabited island and must learn to adapt to the harsh surroundings, gradually building relationship with the animals on the island and becoming the adoptive parent of an orphaned gosling. I remember seeing the trailer for The Wild Robot and immediately I was captivated by, first of all, the gorgeous animation and then the story. And yes, I know it's a book. I have not read it before, so in a way I sort of went in blind, even though I did watch the trailer. And I kind of already, you can tell from the trailer that it's going to be, there's humor, but there's also going to be a very touching story underneath it all. I think for a book to movie adaptation, when it comes to animation, this one did everything right. What a great job of introducing our main character, Rosm, or Roz for short, and how the robot ended up on this uninhabited island. And sort of within like the first 10 minutes, a lot of things was happening, and that's just to kind of show the chaos that is within a robot who, they were all shipwrecked, and essentially one wakes up and have to quickly adapt to its surrounding. And that's what's cool about the robot, Roz, is that part of her programming is to be very adaptive, very fast learning. The catch is that her purpose is to kind of like be a service robot, so like completing tasks for most likely the people who purchase the service, which would be humans. So what does a robot do when she's on an island only with animals and she is not, in a way, programmed or written to understand animals? So mix that with the nature of her programming being a very fast learner and adapting quickly, but still trying to find, essentially her main goal is to complete a task to be a helpful robot, and just her going up to all the forest animals and being like, can I help you? It was giving a little bit of, especially for someone who have not read the book, sort of like Baymax wanting to be very helpful, but also is awkward because this is not the setting that she was expecting to be in. So it was a lot of like hilarious moments, really funny right off the bat. And also very chaotic because some of the smaller animals were afraid of her. Some of the bigger, more predatory animals were defending themselves, were trying to essentially destroy her. So just to kind of see the juxtaposition of that was really funny, really entertaining. And the pacing was so tight on this movie. We just kind of like, they set it up, they explain it, and then they moved on. Every scene that they had in this movie had intention and had purpose, and I love that anything that they showed was important because we are going to circle back to it later. And of course, jokes aside, there is a very touching story when it comes to Roz and when she accidentally stumbles upon a orphan gosling. And if you saw the trailer, you know that the gosling hatches, in front of her, and essentially Roz is the first thing that the gosling sees. So it immediately imprinted on her. So now we have this surface task robot who is not written to essentially be prepared for motherhood, aka raising a gosling. You have to teach it to how it's going to find food, how to, especially very importantly, how to fly and how to learn in time for migration, which, a robot can't fly, so how is it supposed to teach a gosling that? So we kind of go through that journey with the both of them, and that is essentially where all the heartfelt moments happen. What I was not expecting, aside from gorgeous animation and very good storytelling, and of course excellent performances by the cast, was for me to be wrecked emotionally by this movie. I cried so much, and I tweeted about this after I screened the film, but for me it was like Coco level cry. Not out loud, but it was just like the tears weren't stopping. I also didn't realize I was crying until, the tears were like coming down my face, and all of a sudden I was like, my face is wet. I want to try to keep it really vague on the parts that made me cry. If you have read the book, is familiar with the book, you can probably guess about where that started happening. And just sort of two very unlikely pair, a very unlikely pair coming together and telling this beautiful story about learning and adapting and surviving and friendship and love. And they wrapped it all up in such, just, I felt so complete when I walked out of this movie. It never left me once feeling, I wish we would have gotten more of this, or I wish they explained more of that. This was, to me, and of course, again, not having read the book, felt like a perfect story, a perfect adaptation. And when that score kicked in, it was just emotional overdrive. So when you do go to the movie, you should probably bring tissues, especially if you are, well, I'm not going to get into that. I'm going to keep it vague. But I genuinely enjoyed this movie so much. I actually can't wait to see it again. So if you can't guess already by what I've been blabbing on about for the last couple minutes, this movie for me is catch it opening night. It doesn't matter if you're not familiar with the story. I wasn't familiar with the story, and I'm glad to have like gone into it blind. And now in reverse, I will find the book and I will read it to see if there's any differences. But I absolutely love this movie, and again, the animation is breathtaking. It's not like a I'm pretty sure there is some sort of like computer animation that goes into it, but it doesn't have that how do I say it? Like sort of the 3D animation that we're very familiar with now via the style of like Frozen or Moana. It doesn't look like that where the characters aren't like shiny. Like it kind of looks like a little bit of a painting. I don't know how to describe it, but it's gorgeous. The score is amazing. The songs in it are amazing. Please go and check this out when it opens in theaters. And there you have it. That is my thoughts on The Wild Robot. Once you've seen it, let me know in the comments below what you thought of the movie. And of course, if you've seen the movie and you have read the book, please let me know some of the differences you noticed. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And I will see you in the next video.